Hello everybody, Trekkie here, as if you expected anybody else, and today we are going to be playing Feed the Beast! And today we are going to sleep. We're going to sleep the night away, that's right, because I'm impatient. I'm kicking everybody off the server, and that's just how it's going to have to roll. Even Duff, he owns the server, but I just kicked him off. You better get off my server. No, just kidding. He'd probably ban me or something like that. I don't know. We're just playing. We joke around. We do that kind of thing. So today, we're going to be making tanks. And not just any tanks. Zycorodite tanks. Why? Because they're cool. We already got some a lot in the... Whoa. That was a big clusterfuck of words. We got a bunch of them already in the middle of our base here. Seed oil, creosote. But eventually this island's going to have to go, so these are going to have to move. And so being able to send some of my liquids over here to their permanent location would help, ease the passing and enable me to clear up more space and more machines. So that's going to be great. What we're going to have in the corners here, like I've described in previous episodes, we have the spawners in the middle. On each corner there's going to be a stack of 3 12 by 12 by 12 tanks. That's the max size for the Zycorodite tank. That holds 16 million and some odd bit. I think it's 16 million even. Get over here. Let's see. Let's look at this one with fuel. It is 16 million, which is 16,000 millibuckets or Minecraft buckets or whatever the hell they're called. And that's quite a bit. And each tank will have a valve on the top of it, which will allow it to connect to the top tank above it. So when the bottom tank fills, it'll start automatically filling the middle tank, and then as it fills, it'll spill over into the top tank, and then it'll eventually be filled. That'll be quite a bit of storage. I think that's carry to 5 plus 16. I think that's like 48,000 buckets. That's quite a bit, and I've already mapped out all the locations, so let's just get right on it. I think the primary block these are going to be made of is birch wood. We already got a lot of black and red in here, but not so much light colors to counteract it. I mean, the red's bright, but so on the corners I want something bright to contrast. So we're going to be using birch as the main housing for the tank. For the floor and stuff, I'll probably be using the black Zycorodite. And maybe for the space between like the bottom ring around it and the middle rings, I'll use the red stuff, which I don't actually have any on me. Well, way to go! I'm always prepared, aren't I? For those of you who follow me a while, know I'm never prepared completely. I try. I'll give it my honest effort, but I am never prepared. But that's okay. It doesn't take long. And I'll probably put some glowstone in it just to keep the inside of the tanks bright and shiny and all that good stuff. So without further ado, I'm not going to build all 4 corners on a camera. We're just going to build the one corner, then I'll copy it probably after the episode. And then we'll start setting up our machines to actually pump in to these, because like I said, so I was talking about last episode, I said on each corners, like diagonal, there's going to be a certain liquid, and on the other diagonals there's going to be another. For that diagonal and this diagonal, it's going to be biomass. On that diagonal and that diagonal, it's going to be biofuel, which they're going to be the main juice and the main liquid for our Minecraft Joules production via steam boilers. Down here below the second ring, I might have another one with fuel or or oil. Maybe like one side's like one cross from is oil, one cross from each other's fuel. We'll work out as we go, but one step at a time. So let's go ahead and get started on this. So like I said, I've already measured them out. The outside ring, which would technically be this block. Let's click off all this. I guess it would help if I actually placed the block there. And 12 by 12s are the largest Zycraft tanks you can make, like I've already stated. And they can be made out of pretty much anything. They're so much better than iron tanks. Maybe to the point of being... I thought I heard a skeleton. I was like, how's that even possible? There's nowhere for him to spawn. Yeah, so we're going to do this just all the way up. They're pretty cool. You can make them out of cobble. You can't make them out of dirt or sand, and you got to think of like in this terms of real life. Sand and dirt would absorb liquids. I can't say it's perfect in that regard, but most of the solid blocks you would think like stone or even cobble. I'm just like way overshooting it here. They could hold it, and that makes it really good early tanks. And the valves themselves are actually really cheap. They're just more of these engineering blocks, which are basically just a color of Zycordite smelted, some stone bricks, and a redstone in the middle. It makes you 4. That's enough for one valve altogether. So, and of course with those you're going to need some iron bars, again not expensive, and a bucket. This will make you 4 valves, so that should be enough to at least run one good tank, depending on how many outputs and inputs you wish to have. So very good, great early game. As far as size is concerned versus iron tanks, excuse me, my throat. It feels I need a drink. Excuse me while I sipped the drink. Oh yeah, didn't help a bit. I'm gonna lie, it didn't help clear my throat a bit, but it's tasty. It's tasty. Oh yeah. I like to drink water with Crystal Light in it. It's like basically a flavoring packets. Not much calories or sugar. I mean, they still have sugar in them, of course, but they're better than soda. And water is easily attainable. So basically, what I'll do, I'll buy like a pack of soda bottles. Well, not soda bottles. Obviously, they have soda in them. And after I'm done drinking them, I'll just refill the bottles over and over with water. And just, keep reusing them until they get nasty. And then, of course, I have to buy more. But it saves money. See, when you're poor, when you're the poor working class people of America, and I know that may seem like hard to believe considering I'm in a video game online right now. Not exactly a necessity, but it does keep me entertained. When you're in the poor working class of America, or any country, I guess, you really learn how to preserve every dollar. And one thing my parents have always tried to instill in me is a respect for, money, earn what you get, and that's good. I think a lot of people today are spoiled rotten, spoiled little shits, that don't deserve what they got. People today want everything handed to them, but anyway, getting back on story, you learn how to stretch every dollar, and I really try to. It doesn't always work. Sometimes you just don't have enough dollars, and which came up to the crisis where I was like, oh man, I'm going to lose my internet this month because I just can't afford it. That's one of life thing. If you're more well off, born into a family who has more money, well, hey, good for you. I'm happy for you. I wish I were too, but you can't choose who you're born to. And just despite the fact that we were poor, doesn't mean we were any less of a family. I had great parents. Despite not having much money, they broke their backs to make sure we didn't have any needs for anything. I had good Christmases. So growing up, it's always been, I learned to appreciate everything, and that's a good thing. I think a lot of people could stand to be in that position, especially politicians and people in charge of this country who have way too much money and need to learn what it means. They need to relearn what it means to actually, what a dollar is actually worth. And on the corner here, we're going to put our valve. Below all these is where the actual input's going to be, the actual inputs. So, and then it'll just flow all the way up to the top. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that? Okay. Like I said, I think the rims are all going to be this. Let's go ahead and get that taken care of. So, like I said, I know the value of $1, and I mean it's more healthy for you as well. Drinking the water with the Crystal Light, a lot more healthy than soda. Soda has so much sugar, calories. I mean, not all sodas, of course. There are sodas with low calories, and they usually taste like shit. Excuse me. Not always the case, but soda in general. Oh man, I don't have any more over here. Run out of that stuff so quick. Let's fly over here into the world of frame rate slowdown. Luckily, I still have another load of it. So, and it's good to eat healthy. I mean, most of my life I've been a fat ass. I ain't gonna lie. I've been heavy. Like food more than I like being healthy, apparently. I guess you could say I'm a model American. But I'm not heavy anymore. When I was left with my ex-girlfriend, she put an end to that. She put her foot down. She wasn't gonna take my shit. She's like, look, I love you for you, but I don't want you dying on me because of cholesterol and stuff. And it was really, you may say, okay, well, if she loves you, why is she judging you? I don't really call it judging so much as I call it, trying to get me to be healthy. And it was the best thing that has ever happened to me. Well, other than the fact that, she cheated on me and was a bitch. But past that, it was a good thing that happened to me because it got me into the swing. I could never motivate myself. It was nice having somebody, especially having been a loner most of my life, nice having somebody nearby that cared about my well-being enough to push me to want to lose weight. So I learned to drink Crystal Light and water instead of drinking a lot of soda. That's also better for your heart. All that caffeine is terrible for you. I eat a lot of better foods, a lot more healthy, a lot more fruits. I've gotten to eating apples in my free time instead of junk food. Although I still love my goldfish. Ain't nothing gonna get between me and my goldfish, that's for sure. You get between me and my goldfish, you might as well just start getting out of my way because I don't get angry. But I eat a lot more apples, oranges, grapefruits. I love grapefruit. And there's people like, ew, grapefruit? What you talking about there, Trekkie? Ew, that's nasty. I love grapefruit, so shut the fuck up. So I've lost a lot of weight. I'm not a fat ass anymore. But I can still say the word because I've spent most of my life as one, so I've earned the fat ass badge. I can make fun of fat people because I was a fat person. It's not healthy. There's nothing good about it. Sure, you love being able to eat as much food as often as you like. That's, I guess, the one bonus of it. You get to eat all the food. And I used to joke with my mom. All my family was heavy. But I used to joke with my mom, she loved watching cooking shows. She was one of those ladies that just loved turning on the cooking channel and watching her cooking shows. I'm only going to have the corners open with glass viewers. It'll add a nice effect, I think. But I always tell her, most of these chefs on here are skinny. These people don't know what the fuck food is. It's like one lady on there's a twig. I'm like, she takes a bite and that's it. How does she know what good food is? You see these other dudes are really fat. It's like, that person knows what food is. Yeah, that you could believe they're a chef. You can believe they know what they're talking about when they shovel food into their mouth. It's like, yeah, they're fat because they like food, just like I did. Those people I could believe, not these skinny chicks. I'm sorry, skinny chicks. Every man loves a woman who could cook, but I have a hard time believing you know what you're talking about when you're skinny as a twig. You don't eat food. You don't eat much food. You eat like a berry every day and you're done. It's like, okay. So, I used to joke with her about that. But we were always heavy people, my family. Which was odd because my immediate family was the only heavy people in my entire family. Everybody else is skinny. We're like the fat people of our family. And you may say, well, Trekkie, you speak about this awful liberally. Well, like I said, I was fat and I come to grips with it. It's a condition. People say, oh, fat's a condition. It's like, it really is. If you're a fat person and you know how hard it can be to, give it all up, lose weight, push yourself to do what outside of your comfort zone. It really is a condition. It's almost like an addiction, really. So, I mean, once we got past that, I know this ain't terribly exciting, me bobbing up and down like an apple. But like I said, we're going to build the first one, then I'll probably just replicate it over and over. But, you know, that's life. Now I'm skinny, dude. I've always had a really strong build. Broad shoulders, you know, naturally muscular. So I was always lucky at that, but it was always covered up by fat, so it really never went to use. Now I'm like, hey, Trekkie, you sexy thing. All muscular and shit. I'm still alone. Sadly, being muscular, being good looking, fat, heavy, ugly, whatever, does not stop people from cheating. It does not stop people from being whores. I'm sorry, that's a blunt term, but in my personal view, once a cheater, always a cheater. In rare cases, no, but today, sex is thrown around too much. So, she's probably sleeping around on whoever she's with now. Better him than me. Oh, thank you, Inventory 2 Weeks. Nice of you to finally update that shit. So, that's life. Crystal Light, thank you for being there for me. And plus, you get, it's not actually Crystal Light, it's actually Weiler's Light. It's kind of like an off-brand, I guess. But you get 10 packets per box, and they're like a box is like $1. I buy them at like Walmart or a dollar store. It's like 10 drinks, and I use 16-ounce bottles, like the 16-ounce like Pepsi. What kind of soda is it? Pepsi Max and Sierra Mist. Just use the 16-ounce version. That's like 1 packet per. So like 2 a day. I mean, it really stretches out. Okay, we've done the walling. Of course, I'll probably add more decor to it later. I mean, unfortunately, with these tanks, you can't really make them 3D. They have to be wall, floor, ceiling. There's really nothing more you could do than that. That's just the way they're made. So, okay. Get this out of here. Now, on the top of the ceiling, because since this will be the back, it'll be the hardest to see, especially from, you know, any. I'm going to put this. Ooh, excuse me, god damn. A valve here. This will connect to the top tank, and basically we'll start it again with these. You don't have to have a space between the, like, you don't have like top tank here, bottom of the next tank here. No, you can actually have them connecting. So top is the bottom of the next one above it. So they're really nice. You only need one valve. So they connect nicely. They're really cool. Love it. Love it. All right. I know this may not be the easiest to see. Maybe I'll just. Where's my torch? I don't need a zapper quite yet. That didn't really help at all, did it? It did not help at all. I'm sorry. I apologize. There we go. That makes it kind of brighter. That makes it kind of brighter. There's just no easy way to do this. There isn't. There's no easy way to do this. Out of the way. But I love these tanks. Now, as I was about to say earlier, before I interrupted myself with my, you know, socialization ADD, as I like to call it, because I can never keep my mind on one thing at any stretch of time. Whoop! Iron tanks compared to these. Now, you may think, oh, if you can make these all out of such cheap materials, what makes iron tanks worth anything? Smaller iron tanks, I mean, smaller Zycraft tanks actually have less storage than iron tanks. So smaller. I can't get my thoughts together. Iron tanks, as far as the smaller sizes, are actually more space, like, you know, capacity efficient. But when you get to these really big Zycor, it's really only the extremely large Zycor tanks that have more storage overall. And of course, they're cheaper. Now, if you're looking for pure, if you have, you know, enough resources and you just need pure capacity and you don't really need a really big tank, iron tank is definitely the way to go because they have more storage overall for the smaller sizes. So it's definitely something to consider, but iron tanks are quite expensive, even in comparison to this. I mean, not hard to get enough cobble to put one of these big ones together, unless you really need the space. I'm just gonna put, since these are centered on a 2x2, need to find the 2x2. 4, 4. Okay, 4, 4. Okay, that's where I want to put them. The bottom here. I'm gonna put them in the back. I'm not gonna put them in the front. Like I said, the back here won't be as visible. Like if we go up here, we're like in the middle. You can see this side pretty well, but you don't really see the back so well. I mean, you can still see them in there, but when it has liquid in it, you're not going to. But on the back side, that's why I put in the valves over here, just for a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And I know sometimes the liquid gets like light glitched, so that should help with that as well. Now all we need to do is plop in our glass viewers, my favorite thing, and more up and down. Let's see if I have any other anecdotes from my experiences of life. Not really, not at this moment. Eat healthy, do some exercise. There's no miracle cure for being fat. There really isn't. You got to do the work. Like anything in this life, if you want it done, you got to do the work. There's no easy miracle cures. So yes, Trekkie used to be fatty. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't even find it as an insult because it's just what I was, you know. You can't help who you are. It's no more than helping what your voice sounds like, what you look like. There's no point getting worked up over it. Alright. This is officially able to be turned into a tank. All you have to do is right-click the valve, and bam, we got a tank. Whenever you look at it, you'll see these lines. That's telling you that that's actually a tank, as opposed to looking at this. So if you have like similar blocks next to it, you're like, okay, these ones have lines through it. This is part of the tank. This one, however, does not. These ones though. So this is tank. So if you need to break something that's near each other, like, okay, I'm not going to mistake this because this is the tank. I don't want to break the tank. If you right-click it, 16 million. And basically, I'm just going to repeat. I want to, cut off the video, repeat it all the way up, and then we'll get to filling it with some kind of liquid. And then we'll go do something else. I don't want to spend the whole time making tanks. And then I'll repeat the other sides and finally finish my... I'm such a horrible procrastinator. I'll finish the other spawning rooms, the other tanks, in my own free time. So let me cut it off. I'll finish the whole stack here, and then I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I was just recharging my jetpack. A lot of flying around. While we're here, I might as well update you on my situation. With UU, it's been pumping them out really good. We got 26 iridium ores. If you think 26 times 7 UU, I think that's a what, 187-ish? That's a lot of UU produced. Not too shabby at all. Not too shabby. Free iridium? Yes, please. Alright, let's get on. Let's move on over here. I've already produced some tesseracts. I got some liquid ducts. Already had those. By the way, my big old node I grew it quite a bit today. I got it like 600 points bigger by just making a hoe of growth and growing on trees repeatedly. Oh man, boy! But it got to dangerous levels of. Right now, it has no flux at all. I love these pure nodes; they're just badass. But it got to dangerous, and I had wisps all over the place. But as you can see, I've completed all the rooms. You may say, well, it's kind of weird. Don't worry. Once we get all the machines in and stuff in, then I'll start rounding out the room with decor. It'll look a lot better when it's done. It's just sometimes things look weird when they're just floating out of the middle of the space. It's important to get the machines and stuff done first, and then you can build around them. It makes much more sense than trying to build the machines first. So let's go down here at the I forgot a redstone torch. I forgot. Oh, that's going to go over there anyway. Okay. Drop like a rock. Thank you. We'll go over to our handy dandy valve. Hook it up to... I don't know if that's quite what is necessary, but this will be the in. And it'll be the same thing over there. So I just got to right click this and just float down to and set it up. So, that green drink. What? That green drink. Oil transfer, boiler fuel, lava transfer, Kev lava, that green drink. That's the best title of them all, oil transfer. Everybody makes theirs public. I just do mine private. Suckers. Okay, this will be receive only. What do I got so far? 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7. This will be biomass input. Add it to the list. Set the tesseract. Now we just got to go up there and set it to our tank up there. All these are actually working. They're all 16 million. Overall, we'll have 96 million biomass storage, 96 million biofuel storage. If that ain't enough, well, nothing ever will be. I figure out, why am I going so fast? Okay, I'm not in hover mode. Yeah, I mean, this tank is only, let's see, 7 wide, and it has about 5.5 mil. I think it's 7 by 7 by 7. So, for a tank of the similar size of Zyocraft, we'll actually should have less storage. I don't know, I haven't really tested it out, but that's the rumor. Okay, this was my stills for making biofuel, but for right now I want to pump all this out. Pump it all out so I can get rid of this tank. So let's just go ahead and break the circuitry right now. Sorry, I know it's just a mess. Everything goes everywhere. Alright, got everything set up. Put this to this. Oh! Not enough with the double placing, please. Alright. This will be send only. Biomass input. Send it. And now we just got to plop down our redstone. That should do. Yes. Yes. It will be pumping out of here. This stuff will probably drain at a pretty... Yeah, it's going to drain at quite a rate. This means we're going to have to ultimately have to end up relocating our machines. But that's part of... Ultimately, everything will have a place anyway. But for now, I'll probably just end up finding a temporary location. Temporary location to temporary location. Let's go look at our tank. Everything should be... Oh, yeah, I can see it popping in down there. Yep, it's already transferring pretty good. It's not breaking up anymore. That's always nice. We have 74 buckets worth in there right now. Doesn't sound like much, but it'll get. This thing is roughly 3 times the size, each one of these. Good night, Kev. Sleep well, man. That guy lags the server. He's an asshole. But, not really. It's just a running joke we have on the server. We always blame everything on Kev when it's lag-wise. The one up there is, like I said, 5.5. This is 16 million. So this is roughly 3. Each one of these tanks is roughly 3 times the size of that iron tank up there. Plus we have 3 of these stacked. Going to be a ton of biomass stored. And that's just this side. There's going to be another set of them over there. And I'll have it the same input frequency, so it'll actually evenly raise both of them at the same time. We're going to have tons of biomass, and then in conjunction, tons of biofuel. We should never run out. So, like I said, when this fills all the way up to the brim, up to the red level, this one will start filling up. And as this one fills up, this one will start filling up. And then when it's done, it'll be full. If 48 million on each side isn't enough, well, just damn. And of course, it can't help it but snow. It snows all the time. It snows for days. 16 million. And of course, if I was so inclined, I could get cans or such and put them in here and get cans out. But we don't need that at this very juncture in time. Like I said, it'll start filling, and basically this will just afford me extra storage. And once that tank's drained out there, I'll just destroy it. And probably just hook pipes up directly. Let's Let's see, and of course I'm growing redwoods because they drop a ton of saplings. It requires a ton of saplings to keep these things running. How are we doing? Oh, we're out of everything, aren't we? Well, I still have other ones. Wow, it is very laggy over here. Yeah, I just don't have no saplings at all. Why is that the case? Why am I not pumping this stuff out fast enough? I have Trekkie gates. I'll worry about that later. Like I said, once this is output, I'll probably just likely hook everything directly to the machines, and then the extra will pump out the side. I really want to get everything ready to move. Right now, I'm in the process of creating stuff so I can move it over like permanent locations. That's the great thing. We're going to be making permanent locations in the main base, in the actual fortress, so I can get rid of all this crap here and finally not live in the dirt. I've been on this server since February 1st of this year. I've been living in the dirt for way, way too long. The problem is, between episodes, you know, I do everything on camera. I build, I do the important teching and everything on camera. So all I have to do offline really is resource grind and babysit the machine. So I really want to have a base of my own. I look forward to making each one of these episodes just so I have something to do. Oh, it's terrible. I could just make a little small base on the side, like off in the distance. Little private project, I guess, but that's no fun. I'd rather concentrate my energy on this. And of course I have tons and tons of ores left to grind. It'll be so nice having an automated hands-free system for that as well. So I'm going to cut it off there at this point. There's really not much more to do this episode. I'll end up, you know, doing all the sides and finishing them over time, because really I don't really need that storage that quick that I have to do it right now. That's quite a bit. But hope you all enjoyed this episode. Like I said, this isn't a permanent situation. It's gonna have there's gonna be a room. It's not gonna be just floating in the middle of space. It's gonna be indoors. It's gonna be quite a very large fortress. This is just the base of it. This is gonna go all the way up to build limit, and then it's gonna extend the sides for more. It's gonna be a sizable build. And of course, after things are out of the way, I could quarry some more land out of the space. And still not sure what I'm going to do with bedrock. You can't really break bedrock, but I wonder if I could pump lava in there somewhere and make like a nice even pool, like lake of lava. That would be kind of cool, if possible. If not, it still looks pretty neat. If you look at, you know, the bedrock as opposed to land, you could tell just how big. Oh, this lag. It's sound lag is what's getting me. Just every time I move away from it. But you see, quite a lot of space has been dug already, and the fortress in the middle of all that's going to look really neat because it'll have bridges over to the mainland. And of course, I'll work with the edges of the mainland. It's not just going to be this broken bit. I'll probably put like just a nice clean wall of stone or whatever, and then to shape it a little bit all the way around. It's going to be a sizable project of my own. It's going to be very tedious and annoying, but I do it for you guys because I love you so much. Or do I? Oh, we don't know. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you all. Oh, wait. Every episode, I forget to mention it, and I just finally remembered. I have a Twitter that you all can follow. The link is in the description below. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I like to post random crap. Well, like random thoughts of mine. Of course, when the new episode comes out, it'll update. If you all have Twitter, go ahead and follow. That'd be cool. If not, well then don't. There's nothing really more I can add than that. I'm just glad I finally remembered to say, hey, I got a Twitter. I've had it for like half the series, and I've forgotten to mention it every single time. So this episode, I'm finally mentioning. I probably should have mentioned it in the very beginning, because half people just watch like the first 5 minutes and stop. But for those of you who've endured the mindless rambling of Trekkie this long, follow my Twitter. Do it now. It's important. The fate of the free world depends on you following this Twitter. So now I'm going to say, hope you enjoyed the episode. See you next time.